The Insert Door and Window functions are available in the Modeling tab up at the top of the Vertex window, or you can also start the functions by selecting the target wall first, then right-click and select Insert Door or Window. I'll start with Insert Door. This will open the door browser where you can select from an array of different door styles. I'm going to look for the exterior steel view, and I'll pick the 3.0 SVD left hand. If you double click on the thumbnail, it'll take you to the properties of the door where you can see the rough opening framing as well as some other geometric properties. You can modify the label as well as the swing angle as it appears on the layout when we draw the door. When ready to add the door, click OK. Since we had the wall already selected, the door is now attached to that wall and waiting for you to select the location. It's also using the left side of the opening as the reference point. You can change that in the secondary toolbar along the left side of the window. We have the left, middle, and right reference points. I'm going to change it to use the middle. And if I hold my cursor close to the middle of this wall, you'll notice I'll get the yellow triangle marker, and that is the midpoint snap. So now I can left click and the door will snap to the middle of that wall. I'm going to hit confirm, which is pressing down on the mouse wheel or hitting V on the keyboard. And now I can select another wall. I'm going to select this top exterior wall, and I want to change the door type. So to go back to the door browser, I can come over to the secondary toolbar and select Edit Parameters. And then to go back to selecting a different door, we can hit this little arrow up at the top, which takes us back to the door selections. Or you can click on a new door style category in the tree. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom where we have the patios and select the 2-panel gliding patio. In this case, I'll choose the 8-foot 6/8 right hand and click OK. And now I want to locate this door so that the center is located between the interior corner of the top and the exterior corner of the bottom. So we have a shortcut to find the middle of 2 points. One way is to hit D on the keyboard. You can also find those if you right click. We have snap, and the D runs the middle function. And so now it's waiting for me to select those 2 points. Notice down in the bottom left of the status bar, it says search to middle of 2 points, select point 1. So I'm going to select this interior framing corner for point 1. Now it's waiting for me to select point number 2, and that'll be this point here. As soon as I select that second point, it puts the middle of the door halfway between those 2 selected points. I'm going to hit confirm again, and now I can select another wall. I'm going to select this interior wall, and then again change the door type to an interior door type. So I'll go back to Edit Parameters. This time I'm going to choose an interior cased opening. I'm going to put an 8-foot wide one in first. And this one I want to locate so that the center point is a certain distance off of this point here. So I'm going to hit Q on the keyboard while holding my cursor over that corner. That will set the reference point. So now when I start moving my cursor to the left, I can type in the distance and it will measure off of that reference point. So I'm just going to start typing on the keyboard 8 2 space 1/2. So that'll position the center of this door 82.5 inches off of that reference point. I'm going to change this door again by going to the parameters. And this time I will hit the arrow to go back to another cased opening. This time I'll choose a 3-foot wide. And this time I'm going to measure off of this end of the wall. So I'll hit Q on the framing corner, slide to the right, and this time I'm going to type in 18 feet 5 inches. Hit confirm again, and then we can add some more doors around my bathroom area and closets. I'll start with this closet door here. I'll put in a 2-4 interior door. So I'm going to change that door selection again. Go to interior 6 panel. Choose the 2-4. And now I can choose whether that door is going to swing in or swing out. In the secondary toolbar on the left, we have controls for the flip. So I'm going to hit this 2D flip button. That lets it swing out. And then I can reverse the hand by selecting the mirror button. And I'm going to snap to that midpoint so that this door is centered on that closet. I'm going to change to a 2-8 door. And this one, I'm going to reverse the swing again, and then center it on that interior side of this wall. And now I can add a closet door here. Remember, if you don't have a wall selected, you will not be able to change the door type. So be sure to have a wall selected first, then you can go back to the browser and select the new door style. So now I will choose an interior louver, and I'll just go with the 2-foot. This one I'm going to need to switch the swing, and then I'll center it on that interior wall. We can come back and adjust those swings. I'm just going to add one more door here for the laundry. So again, I select the wall first, then go to Edit Parameters. And this time I'm going to select the interior bifold 4 panel, and I'll pick the 6-foot. And again, I'm going to center that on the interior of that closet. And then I can hit Escape. So if you want to change the properties of a door you've already added, you can just double click on the door, and then you come right back to the properties. So I'm going to change the swing angle to be 0 so that it's showing it closed on the layout. If you wanted to reverse the flip or the hand, you can just click on the left and right arrows or the flip arrows. And you can also move the door by selecting one of the grab points. Adding windows is a very similar process. First, you can select the target wall, right-click, and select Insert Window. This opens the window browser, where you can choose from different libraries and different styles as well. I'm going to go to the clad double hung single, and I'll pick the 2442. So I'll scroll down until I find that size. right up here. Double click takes you to the properties. Similar properties as with doors, except we don't have a swing angle. We do have grills if you want to show grills in your model. There's a grill checkbox. We also have controls over the numbers of panes in the vertical and horizontal directions. We also have different styles to choose from. So you can just single click on whichever style you want to use. To update the preview picture, you can hit the preview button up at the top of the dialog. For this tutorial, I'll just leave the grills turned off and then click OK. And now I'm ready to locate that window on the selected wall. I'm going to use the midpoint of the door as my reference. So I'm going to hold the cursor over the midpoint of the door until I see the yellow triangle, and then I can hit Q on the keyboard. And I'm going to pull the window to the left and type in the distance. So from center to center, I'd like that to be 6 foot 8 inches. And then I can continue and add another window. I don't have to hit Q again because the last selected point became my new reference point. So now if I type in 6 foot 8, the next window will be 6 foot 8 over from the previous window. To go the other way, I do need to reset the reference point on the middle of the door, and then pull the cursor to the right, and then type in the distance. And then one more time. I can hit confirm and select the next wall. We can also use constraints to locate those windows and control their positions. So I'm just going to add 3 windows on this wall in any random location, and then come back and add constraints to position those windows in the exact locations. So now I'll hit escape. We'll go to the drafting tab up at the top, and I'm going to select the distance constraint. This first window will locate from the front wall, so I'll click on the exterior framing line of that front wall, and then I'm going to snap to the midpoint of the first window. So I'll get my constraint dimension, I'll locate it on the layout, and then I can enter in the distance. So in this case, let's make this 10 feet. So the window will adjust, and now I can add another constraint. So I'll go from midpoint of this window to the midpoint of the next window. If I want these constraints to line up, I can hold my cursor over the previous one. You'll notice I get that funny little dimension marker on my cursor. So if I left click there, it automatically lines up the dimension with the previous one, as well as you have a choice of an offset. And now I'll type in the distance. One more time. And 10 feet again. And now I can hit escape to get out of the distance constraint function. I'm just going to add 2 more windows on the back of the house, one for the bathroom and one for the kitchen. So I'll select this back wall, right click, and select Insert Window. This time I'll go find the 24210 window. Click OK. For the bathroom, I can just snap the midpoint to the midpoint of the drywall line so that that window will be centered in the bathroom. And for the kitchen, I'm going to measure it off of the exterior framing corner. So I'll hold my cursor over this corner and hit Q. Pull it to the left, and I'm going to type in 8 feet 5 1/4 inch. Hit escape. Save the project by hitting Control S, or you can hit the little disk up in the top left of the Vertex window. And then we can hit F2 to take a look at our 3D model. Hold down your mouse wheel and move your mouse around to rotate. And you can also roll the mouse wheel to zoom in and out.